In 1978, Anne Owen decided to help a pitiful-looking lurcher who arrived on her doorstep. After some love and care, the North Clwyd Animal Rescue Centre, situated in Traralgon, North Wales, was born. 20 years on, Anne has seen the centre grow, offering care and shelter to dogs who need it. And not just dogs, the centre opens its doors to numerous cats and kittens, and even to rabbits too. The work at the centre is carried out by a team of dedicated staff and volunteers.
Hi, I'm Angela. I've been volunteering since January after doing 2 weeks work experience here.
I'm Poppy, I've done the same. I'm Carl, I've also done the 2 weeks since doing work experience. We do quite a big amount. We walk and feed them, clean out their kennels, take them up into the paddock when we've got a bit of time so they can have a run around and a bit of freedom. Just basically anything they need us to do here.
We come 1 day a week, don't we?
Yeah.
Every week.
Owen Horton talks about the volunteer process.
Give us a call and give us an idea of the time frame they have available to volunteer. It could just be 20 minutes, but even then we still appreciate that massively. That's a 20-minute walk for a dog. It could be a whole day, it could be a whole week. What we ask them to do is arrange to come in and go through our health and safety demonstration, which is a small presentation with a DVD. It takes about 25 minutes to give them an understanding of the health and safety on site and the best way of keeping themselves and the animals safe. Once we do that, we register them, we take a picture of them, and we give them an ID card. And when they come in, from then on in, they can show their ID card, sign in, and they may want to walk, in which case we can train them on dog walking, show them the basics. Or they may actually wish to get trained on kennel cleaning, cleaning out stores, spending time with the cat.
Member of staff Helen Topham talks about one of the many cats currently homed at the centre.
He's a 16-week-old black kitten, one of many. He was brought in as a stray by the postman from Rhyl, and as you can see, he's a beautiful, loving cat, very healthy. Won't be long before he finds a home, but with him being black, he'll take a little bit longer.
Work in the cattery involves feeding and cleaning the pens, and often the pleasure of seeing cats and kittens rehomed.
Here at the North Clwyd Animal Rescue, a typical working day varies every single day. Typically we start at 8 o'clock in the morning. We firstly check all the animals. One member of staff will go around and feed either all the dogs and another one will do all the cats. We'll clean and walk all the dogs till about 10:30. During this time we can have strays in. Any time throughout the day we can get stray dogs in. We then, once we get all the walking and cleaning out the way, we then start doing vaccinations, worming and fleeing.
With vaccination and things, we have stray dogs come in. After a couple of days they've been here. If they haven't been claimed, we will do the first vaccination, and that covers them for all various diseases and things. And then 2 weeks later we do a booster vaccination, or second vax, which then covers them for 12 months in total.
It costs, on a day-to-day running basis, it costs £850 a day, which is an awful amount, really, when you think how much you've got to raise just to keep this place going and keeping these animals safe and warm, really. That money goes towards veterinary costs, which come to about £4,000 a month.
I like getting to know all different characters from the dogs, and some of them, yeah, they have some problems.
When the animals come into us, majority that come in, don't show any issues. Sadly, being in kennels for too long can cause issues, and of course it's a very, very stressful environment. They're losing everything that's familiar to them. They're going into a very noisy environment. They might not be used to other animals, so they're going into an environment where there is lots of dogs barking or there's lots of other cats. And also they're constrained in a pen, so it is a terrifying environment for them. So they can display behaviour problems such as just nervousness. They might not be used to strangers, so as you're showing them to prospective owners, they're not being friendly, they're not showing, being really, really affectionate, or they're shying away, or dogs that might snap. And of course this does put people off.
Adam Hobbs, volunteer and behaviouralist for NCAR, describes how some dogs can require extra training before being rehomed.
This is Del. He's a collie cross staffy possibly. And, he's got a problem with stranger aggression. When I'm leading walking, he'll lunge and growl and bark and basically try and scare people away. So I came to see if it was the handling or the environment or the actual dog that's got the problem. And we came across Sue in the car park. Dad was quite calm, but didn't want to know. He wanted to leave, he wanted to get away. We showed he was fearful, but we didn't allow him to escape. And then literally 2 minutes later, he came over to Sue looking for friendship.
Volunteers are desperately needed, and that's a brilliant way for you to donate your time.
One thing that staff really struggle with here at the rescue is spending quality time with the animals. We have on site at the moment over 85 dogs and 60 cats, so spending one-on-one time with the dogs that really need it and the cats we struggle with. We really need more volunteers to come in and spend more time with those animals and free up the staff so we can work with some of the dogs with behaviour issues. Some of the dogs have issues which, if we can spend more time working with them, we can rectify some of them issues, eventually finding them a home a lot quicker. And we really do struggle for that quality time spent with them, even if it's just taking them out for an extra walk, or bathing them, or socialising them around people, or socialising them with other dogs. It's something that we really struggle time-wise with such high volumes of animals coming into us. Here at the rescue, animals can come in through various reasons. The majority of the dogs come in as strays. Cats can come in as strays again, but vary from reasons such as owners have had a new child and no longer want a cat. A cat might have scratched a child and they think it's no longer suitable to live with children, so they bring it in, or just simply unwanted. Sadly, we do get cases where owners have passed away and there's no further place for the animal to go, so they have to come to us. Majority of our dogs, 80% we get in at the moment, are coming in as strays. Various reasons: people get a dog without thinking about it, or get a puppy and the novelty wears off. They get an animal as a present, and again the novelty wears off. Sadly, a lot of people have to give up animals due to financial reasons. Some sadly coming in very neglected cases. We've recently had several strays, but the most recent one, Bruno, came into us absolutely emaciated and dehydrated. He's blind, so he couldn't find water himself, so we had to make sure we got fluids into him. Typically we're getting a lot of cats and kittens in which are covered in fleas. That's a really big problem on the kittens at the moment, and also ones that have ear mites as well.
One of the functions we have is this trailer behind us, which goes out on most weekends to local events, shows such as the Flint and Denby and large agricultural shows, even down to retail outlets like Pets at Home and Jollies, and we do microchipping, and we also do selling of items such as calendars that we now do, car stickers, and general shop items if we're allowed to sell, such as the Flint and Denby show, but general retail stores we can't do that. But the main purpose is to raise donations and also to basically just get as much awareness of the rescue as possible, get volunteers. At the most recent event in Chester, we've already gained several volunteers who now come and help us on a daily basis, walking, cleaning, feeding, spending time with the cats, and even helping clear out the rabbits. So it's a real worthwhile cause, and it does get a lot of revenue, but also a lot of awareness about the rescue.
We raise funds at the Animal Rescue through fundraising, doing open days, going to shops, going to places like Pets at Home.
One of the many ways the centre raises much needed funds is through their on-site shop.
Right, we do stock quite a variety of things at the shop, like little coats for the doggies when our winters come in. We have collars, leads, harnesses. We are very competitive on our prices, and as I said, any little profit we make comes back into the rescue.
We also got the 200 Club, we've got the membership, we've also got Adopt a Kennel. We don't do adopt an animal like some charities do, because we don't like to have our animals here for that long, you see, they want to get homes. So we do Adopt a Kennel, which helps an awful lot, because we have got about 120 kennels here, so you can think how much it keeps them in maintenance ways, it keeps them in food and animals basically.
We get grants that we can apply for through other charity networks like the Jean Salisbury Trust, who we're affiliated to. They will, quite often on a yearly basis, we can apply for grants for certain projects. Also Pets at Home are fantastic at the moment, and we can apply to charitable grants from them as well. So we can apply for grants, but we have to have specific projects in mind. If it's a building, it has to be designed, it has to be fully explained as to what the purpose is going to be and how it's going to benefit the animals.
The centre plays a role in helping more than just the animals.
Hi, my name's Jay Elliott. I work for Action for Children. We're locally in Rutland, where we have a children's home, which is a 5-bedded unit. We use this animal rescue centre for the young people to come and walk dogs and to interact, and it's very therapeutic for them. because unfortunately we can't keep animals at the children's home, and many young people have to leave their pets behind, so this helps a great deal.
At the entrance to the site, lengths of rope left tied to the post tell the tale of how some unfortunate animals are abandoned outside the centre.
Sadly, in this day and age, which we wouldn't think anymore, we get most of our animals coming in just before Christmas. Various reasons, people are going away, don't want the animal anymore, don't want to pay for boarding. People want to spend more money on Christmas presents. The 2 weeks before Christmas, we are inundated here. We get so full, we have to have dogs in crates, we've had dogs in the cattery before. More so on dogs, people more relinquish dogs before Christmas. We also get a huge influx of animals just before the summer holidays. Again, people going away, don't want to pay for boarding, just relinquish the animals. It is quite sad. We also get a rush of puppies about March time, where they've got them as Christmas presents and the novelty's worn off, which is why again we promote, don't give pets as presents. We have approximately just over 1,000 animals come through the rescue each year. We're lucky enough we managed to rehome probably about 80% of those animals. Some of them take slightly longer, depending on any issues the animal may have. They may have behavioural problems which we need to work with, which makes them a little bit more difficult to rehome. So we do rehome about 80%. It's finding the suitable animal for the people and something that's going to go well in their lifestyle, and advising them what is going to work and what isn't going to work, and explaining why.
We've got, as I say, we're already up to 100 kennels for dogs, 60 cats, plenty of kittens and rabbits. We're just in the process of building a new rabbit section, which is fantastic. It'll be a lot more room for them, a lot lighter and brighter. That will then give us room to take the cattery that you may have seen and take that apart and rebuild a much bigger and nicer cattery where all the cats will have outside space. Then we want to try and get a hydro pool in for dogs that have disabilities, and customers will be able to come and use it. We want a new cafe, complex, play area. It can just go on and on, it's endless, but unfortunately it's down to costing of what we can do. Rabbit section's underway, cat section will follow once the rabbits have moved, and we've also just had a behavioural unit of 6 kennels built where we can actually have a calm environment where the dogs can be spent time on their own, where they're not facing each other, and they can be calm and the behaviourists can come in and work with them individually.
The North Clwyd Animal Rescue Centre provides essential services to Flintshire and Denbighshire. Their running costs are high due to a commitment to provide a high standard of care for all their animals. The centre receives no government funding and relies solely on their own initiative to raise money. North Clwyd Animal Rescue is a testament to hard work and dedication to the welfare of animals. You can find out more about what they do and how you can help them by visiting their website www.ncar.org.uk.